Yeah, with that general arc, yeah, I agree. I didn't notice that. Yeah, so he when he sends out the warrant for the arrest, he says that's using like that's by law that he's trying to catch the knave, Robin Hood. And so yeah, perhaps he views law as something that is in his power to use rather than in as something that is supposed to guide his actions, of which he is an agent, you know. And there's some overlap there, but there's maybe a subtle but a very powerful difference in how a good leader versus a bad leader might think of the law.
Yeah, I
Something.
like that the law as something to take advantage of, as opposed to the law as something that we all follow with the idea that it will take care of us, with
Mhm.
that sort of social contract, placing the law higher. I mean, it's a very American, it's a very American thing. That was what um, the founding fathers were all about. Is we're going to have the document, and the document, the rules of the land will be the thing that we follow, as opposed to a king, as opposed to an illegitimate authority. So
Yeah,
it's kind of
yeah,
echoes of that here. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, this sort yeah, sovereignty isn't in a human being, it's in some way. That seems like that goes back to even the ancient Israelites with the I mean there's and it could be interesting to kind of look at that historically as like it's something they really wrestle with where they there's the prophet as the voice of the divine and but there's also they kind of want this political king and even before that there's Moses with his tablets and the first time that they view like some kind of law code it gets broken because they're sort of following some sort of group erotic passion for the idol god which is uh a sort of throwback to like the pre-axial period of sort of naturalistic kind of gods and animal gods and things like that, even before the anthropomorphic gods. But
Yeah. Yeah. The idea of law as something to um, turn to, um, as opposed to, I mean, the sheriff using the law to just make a bunch of money, like, oh, I'm going to serve this warrant and pay this guy, 80 gold pieces when I'm getting 200 gold pieces if I turn in Robin Hood. Like, that feels very pagan, idol, sort of
mm,
worship of nature, worship of like might makes right, as
mm,
opposed to no, we have these codes and structures, and if we follow them, they will support us, or we will find ways to refine them so they
mm,
support us better. But
mm,
they have
mm.
to be held higher than our own needs.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah,
otherwise they're not a law. They're just a tool for getting our needs met.
yeah, yeah. And yeah, there's some that way is also sort of like nepotism, corruption. Like it's understood that, I don't know, in a corrupt society, I would think it's kind of understood that the people who are officials are always going to get a piece. So if I'm the king, I might offer a certain amount reward for this outlaw, but know that there's it's going to filter down through the ranks and like everybody's going to take a chunk or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, because the sheriff's interest is, especially in the first case with the tinker, he wants the reward. He doesn't want to stop Robin Hood because Robin Hood's breaking the law. He doesn't want to stop Robin Hood because he's, ostensibly, if this was a healthy society and Robin Hood was the villain, was the bandit, like the bandit is taking money from the society for his own benefit. So the law
Yeah.
is meant to stop him, and you should want to stop him because he's damaging the society. But
Yeah.
when the ruler is the one stealing the money for his own benefit, then the outlaw becomes the hero, and he's the one that's standing up for the society and trying to make sure it works the way it's supposed to. So
Yeah.
it's very flipped there.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the law, yeah. Yeah, people should be serving the society and the law is sort of some codification of that. And the law